Welcome, folks, to another Game Horror production. Welcome to the Crusader walkthrough from beginning to end. We're going to be doing a complete LP, and by that I mean we're going to be listening to everyone, talking and doing as much of the dialogue as possible, and unearthing 99% of all the world. We will be playing as a female Crusader, the new class in the Reaper of Souls expansion. Religious warriors committed to expunging evil from the world through discipline, honor, and unswerving vigilance. The Crusader uses cruel flails and shields to dominate the battlefield and cleanse the world of corruption. An immovable stone in the middle of any fight, the Crusader stands firm against waves of enemies while annihilating monsters near and far. The Crusader is imbued with the righteous power of wrath. Each attack generates more, which in turn allows the Crusader to unleash ever more devastating powers. Join us with the first Game Hordian female lead character ever, the the daughter of Luglug, sometimes mistaken as a son. Her name is Clitorius! Yes! Clitorius! The Crusader! Before we jump ahead of ourselves, let's recap on Act 1. The introduction.
And at the end of days, the first sign shall appear in the heavens. Justice shall fall upon the world of men. The armies of light and shadow will clash across the fields of eternity. Leah, are you all right, my girl?
It was nothing, Uncle. Just a bad dream. We should be getting you home.
But there's still work to be done. If these translations are correct, the powers of hell could already be on the move. The world must be told of the coming darkness. You do believe me, don't you, Leah? It has begun.
Leave it, Uncle! It's not important!
Diablo 3. Alright, Clitorius. Let us begin. Now, she's going to start out at a Paragon 113, which is going to give her quite the advantage, so to counteract that, I think I'll pump it up to hard right away. And eventually we'll pump it up to expert. Maybe even master. Now, in order to conquer shit on Master and Torment 2 through 6, you really need to have good equipment, legendary stuff, decked out with gems usually. And this isn't meant to be a let's kick Game Hoarder's ass walkthrough. It's just meant to be a complete walkthrough. Alright, so let's go ahead and raise the difficulty. It's automatically going to go to hard. And we're level 1, but we're going to get lots of points to distribute here because, again, as I was explaining in the other video, your characters share a Paragon level. So she's going to have quite the advantage here. And as you can see, her hit points went automatically from 130 to 180. Better quaff a potion real quick. Alright, Clitorius.
The fallen star is close, but there is death here too.
Welcome to New Tristram. Fuck you, zombie. Now, when I said we're going to be doing a complete LP, I meant it. I'm going to unearth every Fog of War, Shadow of a Doubt that we've unearthed every possible location in every map. So if you're not ready for that kind of LP, you might want to fuck off and go watch something else.
Greetings. I am a Crusader of the Zakharum faith, and I saw a star falling on this town.
It fell on the old cathedral. There was only one survivor, Leah. You should speak with her.
Captain Rumford, more dead are coming.
We can't open the gates until we drive them back.
They keep coming.
I've never seen anyone fight like that before. Guards, open the gates. You'll find
You've
Leah
never seen the
escorted
viciousness
past
of the Clitorius. The most victorious Clitorius in the world.
Burn those corpses before they rise again.
The dead have been a bane on our existence since that cursed fire fell. We have to burn them, just to make sure they don't rise from the grave.
Rise from your grave. That was my Altered Beast tribute. It's like we're burning some bodies over here. That's why it smells like shit.
I came here to study the fall of old Tristram. This is closer to the town's history than I want to be.
May the gods who abandoned us come to your aid one last time. Death may be upon us all soon, but I shall do what I can to ease your pain.
Found some interesting things on my latest dig. You should take a look.
Not interested in goods at this point.
I promised Marco I'd protect him, but now he's dead.
Nothing ever seems to change in New Tristram, does it?
What do you mean?
There's always some threat of the risen dead or foul evil descending on the town, isn't there?
Some of the dialogue options on some of these characters, you have to warp back to town at the most inopportune times that you wouldn't really think of.
Don't you dare lift a finger to help our mayor fix his wagon. My brother died defending this town, while that bloated coward tried to run away.
Some heroes are fighting each other in an area near here. Wanna go? Oh, and you didn't hear about it from me.
Neck the Brawler lets you into the new PvP area where you can smash and bash your friends.
Afraid of damaging your armor or weapons? That won't happen over there. In fact, no one even dies. Disappointing, really. Hit him hard.
And obviously there's no one in here, but this is kind of what it looks like. It's a little PvP arena. You can run around and beat shit up. This is the Game Hoarder's flag, which he built from scratch. As you can see, you get all the different banners here. Hardcore mode banners that I've gotten. I actually kind of like that one. Pattern and different sigils. And it tells you how to unlock them. The dragon's pretty cool. And anyways, that's that. People can obviously warp to your little flag position. This here is the stash. This is all the stuff my other characters have accumulated over time. A bunch of weapons we can't get to. I'm collecting Herodic caches. I'm gonna do a whole stash filled with one and open them all at once. So that is the stash.
Please move your cart.
How dare you speak to me like that? I'm the mayor of this town.
Lord Mayor, please move your cart.
Are you mad? This town is doomed. Anyone with a grain of sense should be trying to get out. Will you help me or not?
Fleeing will not save your life, and certainly not your town.
Clitorius is upset with the mayor. He's a puss.
Tristram used to be such a wonderful place to live. My family has been here since the town grew out of the ruins of old Tristram. But now, it's horrible. The loved ones we've buried and grieved over now threaten our lives.
Have you come to help us? The other adventurers who came through here didn't look so deadly.
For many years, villagers were too afraid to settle near the ruins of the cursed town Tristram. But as time went by, adventurers arrived to loot the old cathedral, and their business was profitable enough that new Tristram sprang up to accommodate them. Fewer travelers visit now, though, and the town is mostly populated by craftsmen and farmers.
Unfortunately, there's no subtitles when the lore is being read and the monsters are being described. So whenever that happens, I'm going to kind of stand still, get away from the other abstract noises, the other ambiance, and hopefully you guys that don't have English as a primary language can understand.
Are you Leah? They tell me you survived the falling star.
I did, but it blasted my uncle Deckard Cain into the depths of the old cathedral. I tried to search for him, but the dead were already rising. I came back here to rally the militia, but...
Watch out! The wounded are turning!
This is killing business.
No shit.
I don't care what anyone says. That thing that fell from the sky was no rock. A rock doesn't cause the dead to leave their graves.
The dead will overwhelm us all, unless something is done.
Something like putting them back to sleep? I can do that.
Thank you. You should speak with Captain Rumford at the gate. He can tell you what to do. We've been under siege for 6 days now. Uncle Deckard is still missing. Captain Rumford and the others are losing hope. I tell them not to lose faith, but if help doesn't arrive soon...
16 militiamen went out. Only Rumford came back. How could that help us?
We never should have built on this cursed ground. Maybe Cain was right. Even in death, Diablo torments us.
We have come at last to Tristram's old cathedral. This is where Diablo, Lord of Terror, first corrupted mankind. This is where I may finally find the answers I seek. Leah worries after my safety, but I believe information vital to defeating the last lords of the burning hells can be found here.
Let's talk to Captain Rumford at the gate.
I've come to help. How do we stop these risen dead?
I admire your courage, but Captain Dalton and the militia were slaughtered by those things. Only I survived.
Have faith, Captain. Have faith.
Well, I have seen you fight. Strike at the wretched mothers and their queen. They're the ones vomiting out these horrors.
They're attacking the barricades!
That's one of the wretched mothers. There are more of them in the ruins down the road.
I, Deckard Cain, have spent many years traveling and writing about the strange creatures in our world, but the sight of the wretched mothers still haunts me. They are the remnants of Queen Asilla's slaughtered handmaidens who were twisted by foul magic. Now they feast upon cadavers and regurgitate them as newly formed, risen dead.
Gross. So we have some new skills here. Well, we have Punish. Strike your enemies and gain hardened senses. Increase your chance to block for a short time. Requires a shield. And Shield Bash. Charge your enemy, bashing him with all nearby foes violently with your shield. Also requires a shield. So the Crusader is a one-handed or two-handed, one-handed weapon person with a shield. Will be my first shield wielder for certain. Let's get to some ass kicking, shall we? Enough of the chit chat.
I will never forget the first time I saw these horrors shambling out of the misty woods. Our loved ones, buried long ago, rose from their graves and began to attack the living. However, the risen dead were only the beginning.
Wrath is low.
Is that little fucker hopping away from me? He's doing the caterpillar to get away. So what I do is I usually circumnavigate the whole map and then work my way inward. For the overworld maps anyways.
Nothing stops the crusade.
A dank cellar.
Fiends must have stolen the treasure.
reader. I am Abd al-Hazir, adventurer, scholar, and researcher. I share my knowledge of this incredible world and its creatures through my insightful missives, often at grave risk to myself. Why, I was recently in Honduras, where my tents were ransacked by vicious quill fiends. I was able to beat them off with a shoe, but a less bold man would have fared far worse.
The wicked quill fiends. Giant porcupines that want to fuck you up.
Another wretched mother dead. That should slow the attacks.
Alright, so that's the checkpoint. So what we'll do is we'll come back here and we'll search the rest of the area. Don't think for a second it's pointless to search an area, because plenty of times I've found a legendary weapon or a piece of armor in a tree stump or on a dead body. It's always good to search everywhere in this game, especially when you start getting in the later levels. And even low level like this we can find legendaries, so they really opened it up for everyone.
Favors me.
Remember, I'm getting 75% experience bonus for playing on hard. So now we have shield glare. Light erupts from the shield, blinding all enemies. And we also have slash. Ignite the air in front of you, damaging all enemies caught in its flames. We'll be trying out all the skills, and then of course narrowing down on the ones that I feel most comfortable with. But I will show each and every one of the skills as we acquire them. For a little bit. I won't be picking up grays and whites because since I'm sharing gold with all my characters, I'm not that poor. I'm not that rich because I've spent so much money on gem crafting, but Clitorius will have plenty of money for whatever needs she has. Alright, and that's the entirety of that map. And she has a tight little booty.
Old Tristram. Diablo himself was here.
Probably could go to expert right now. But then again, we don't have much as far as items go.
require more wrath.
In the eastern kingdom of Khezistan, I heard rumors of Zakarum warriors called Crusaders. While the natives were most reticent, I was able to deduce that this order was founded 200 years ago, just as Rakis took his army of paladins west. But these Crusaders went east on a very different mission.
Griswold's fine weapons. Griswold is, of course, a character from the classic Diablo lore. Let's return.
For a long time, Uncle Deckard avoided coming back to this place. There were a lot of ghosts here for him. This is where Diablo drove old King Leoric mad and terrorized the people. I don't know what really happened here. But whatever it was horrible. Nearly everyone who survived went mad. I've never heard of the Crusaders.
We're from the east and only recently came to these lands. Some of us did, at least. We serve the Zakarum faith.
Well, I hope you're not planning to convert these people by the sword.
I'm not here to convert anyone. My crusade is to cleanse the corruption that infests my faith. When that evil is destroyed, the Zakarum will be restored, and people can choose to believe in it or not as they please.
That's right. No Christian crusades here, baby. Again, always good to check the different areas for new lore, new dialogue options.
Welcome to the slaughtered caffeine. Bring me whatever treasures you have no use for. I'll give you a bit of
The sword does an extra 40% damage and 32 healing over the flail, so we're gonna trade that out. Even though the favored weapon of the Crusader is the flail, that doesn't mean that's all she can use. She can wield pretty much anything, effectively.
Thank you for your help, but could you talk some sense into Leah? She won't give up on the idea of rescuing her uncle.
She's brave. With help, she may yet save Cain. Leah, let us find your uncle.
We'll need to open the cathedral first. The guards locked it up before they were ambushed. Rumford told me they fought their way back to Adria's hut. The key must still be there.